I just got to get my caffeine fix in the mornings. How about you, Kate?
Absolutely, every morning.
So a new coffee culture is brewing in California. City leaders in Berkeley have imposed a 25-cent fee on disposable cups at restaurants and coffee shops. The ordinance, called Disposable Free Dining, went into effect January 1st.
I don't know how I feel about this. It requires customers who don't use a reusable cup to pay a 25-cent fee for a single-use cup. Supporters say it's meant to reduce the amount of cups that are thrown away. Restaurants would be able to keep all the proceeds the disposable cups fee costs them, and it would be up to them to decide what they do with the extra money. I don't know. I agree that we need to work better to fix the trash problem in our world and disposable cups, plastic straws, that kind of thing, but I'm forgetful. I forget things a lot. I don't know if I would remember a cup every day.
Patrick is raising his hand over here because I know he has a problem with letting the company keep that money, but it's only 25 cents.
But if it adds up, think about that. One customer,
what are they going to do with the money?
Buy more cups?
Who knows?
Buy more cups.
Hopefully something for the environment. Maybe that regulation needs to be put in there.
You don't know that.
Yeah.
So it has been years since I've done this, but when I was in college, I used to bring my own thermos to Starbucks.
Yeah.
And we would get a little bit of change off.
Yeah.
I wonder if they still do that. So maybe I can bring my tumbler and find out next time. After the break on 12 News Tonight, the new year could mean fraud. If you're not careful, we'll explain. It's only day 2 of 2020 and people already wanting to rip you off. This one shocked me.
Yeah, me too.
You're gonna need to be extra cautious when signing and dating legal documents. Now, in the past, we've marked the year as just 19 or 18.
Yeah, 17, that sort of thing. You know, at the end of your date, 01, 28, 19, or, you know, that sort of thing. Well, it turns out you'll have to write the entire year instead of using just 20 to avoid potential fraud. Abbreviating the year leaves it open for someone to modify it and for any way they want, basically. They could use it for the rest of the decade. Basically, they could just add 2 more numbers on the end of it. So if you leave it just 20, I was reading more on this story. This is not only for checks. I mean, if you write a check, they could wait 2 years to deposit it, and then it hits you at a bad time. Legal contracts, job contracts, that sort of thing. They could forge all of that. Say you didn't start until 2023. All of that.
So guys, just to remember, when you're dating, use all 4 numbers, 2020, instead of just 1, 2, 0.
That'll be different, but I do think it's better to be safe than sorry.
Get used to it, guys.
Yep.
From Uber driver to college graduate, LaTanya Young worked as a hairstylist by day and an Uber driver by night. She recently dropped out of Georgia State University. Why? Because of a measly $700 debt. But one car ride, it wiped that debt all away.
This is so amazing. LaTanya says a few days after her Uber ride, she got a call from the school saying she could register for classes. Now she has an associate's degree in criminal justice. And the best part, her donor was at her graduation to cheer her on. This is so amazing.
And I keep thinking what the conversation was like in the car. You know, LaTanya is an Uber driver. She picks up her passenger. Maybe they chit-chat about school, about education, and she mentions the $700 fee. And then all of a sudden, boom, it's paid off.
Yeah. That would be amazing, and it may not seem like much, but I mean, obviously it was a lot for her to think, wow, I can't do this anymore. So there are definitely still good people out there.
Yeah.
Okay, now to the bad things. One bad habit could cause thousands to strike out of getting a job. U-Haul says it will stop hiring people who use nicotine in 21 states. Yes, that list includes Texas. The new policy does not apply to current employees, but new applicants only.
The company's chief of staff says they are invested in the well-being of their staff and want to encourage a healthy lifestyle. Applicants will be questioned in their application if they're smokers, and in some states, they'll have to submit to a nicotine screening. This is a new trend. I worked for a company where your premiums, your health insurance costs went up if you were a smoker.
I don't know. I'm a believer in the separation of church and state, work and personal life. And I think that if you want to damage your lungs in your personal life, you can do it. I would see maybe not being allowed to smoke on the job. maybe, you know, you can only do that during your lunch or dinner break, that sort of thing. But I don't know. I think that sometimes your work just needs to stay work.
Some exciting events coming to town this week. First up, Pour Brothers Brewery hosting a First Thursday celebration. Tonight, customers can enjoy a buck off all pints of all flagship beers. And the BMT merch van will be there with some sweet swag, some shirts like the one you see, and hats for sale. The party started at 4 o'clock, but don't worry, you're not missing out. It goes until 8 o'clock.
So make sure you watch the end of our show, then go. Okay, and then a new year means wedding bells for some. This weekend, we have a lot of fiancés in the newsroom right now. So guys, listen to this. This weekend, the Bridal Traditions show is in town at the Beaumont Civic Center. Brides, grooms, and their wedding parties can check out food, flowers, dresses, even honeymoon exhibits, all you need for your special day. All vendors will come from all across Southeast Texas. You can get tickets for just $10 at discoverbeaumont.com.
My friend Rachel's going to this. She's really excited. The reason why her fiance is excited, though, is because they're going to have a special, like, man cave for all the men to hang out in. So there's going to be sports on, some tailgating type food. So while the women are doing all the hard work, all the wedding planning,
all of the hard work,
the men can chill out, maybe play some PlayStation.
I just plan on hiring someone when I get married. Too much hard work.
Hey, Patrick, we going to see some good weather for all these events? We're going to travel all the way up to Pennsylvania for this one.
Your hometown.
Yeah. I actually saw these in person. They're really cool butter sculptures. Every year, the Pennsylvania Farm Show shows them off. And this year, they've got a pretty unique theme, all made out of butter. So they're creating beloved sports mascots like the Swoop of the Philadelphia Eagles and Steely McBeam from the Pittsburgh Steelers.
This is so interesting. The smooth sculptures take 14 days to make. This is what gets me, 1,000 pounds of butter, courtesy of Land O'Lakes. Once the exhibit closes, the sculptures will be turned into renewable energy. What? How do you turn butter into renewable energy?
I can't answer that question, but what I can tell you is that that is a refrigerated room, so the butter doesn't melt.
That makes sense.
And if these things look big on camera, you should see them in person. They're huge. I mean, you can tell just how tall they are by some of the folks who are standing in proximity. A lot of work goes into these hours, and when you see them, it really is incredible.
Wow, that's crazy. My question is, how is this renewable energy? Patrick, do you have any idea how that would be turned into energy? Melted and on popcorn? I don't know.